Coming up right now, a new dating app that wants you to skip the dating part and just go right to the altar.
Also coming up, why Ozempic might soon become a part of your dog's morning routine.
A little bit later on, rumor has it that Wheel of Fortune is spinning for Vanna's job. We'll tell you about that.
Boy, Daily Flash starts right now.
Get ready for trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. The fun starts right now. This is Daily Flash.
Hi everyone, I'm Andrea Jackson.
I'm Mitch English, welcoming you to an hour of Daily Flash. So happy to have you here. We're going to get rocking and rolling. Matt Doolittle joining us a little bit later on doing his thing. Aren't you, Maddie?
Yes, and the wife is wearing me down a little bit. And maybe I need to come for you advice. We may be getting another cat.
They say if you have cats, you should have two.
Yes.
So they have somebody to play with.
Really? Okay.
That's how I got
that's
bamboozled
what- yeah.
into two.
Yep, that's how I'm getting bamboozled into a second one now too.
Get ready for that. Yeah. It'll actually help you because then you don't have to watch them as much. They
Well,
play
at
with
least she
each other.
asked you because she could have just shown up.
Just
with
showing up,
it.
and I would have been like, "Yeah, that's the thing with me." I'd be like, "Yeah, that's fine, whatever."
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit here and kick the cat out. I'm going to keep it.
Right. Yeah, that would not
We
help
have
the relationship.
the cats over in my in-laws' house because we're doing all the renovations,
yeah.
so they're freaking out. So I got a little reprieve from the cats right now. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of miss them. When I open the door to go outside,
Yes.
I still have that. Okay, they're gonna
Yes.
they're gonna run outside.
And when you have dogs, because you've had a dog before, you know there's a certain jingle jangle when you open
Yeah.
up the door and they come to you. So when you don't have that, there's a weird silence in the house.
It's funny. Dogs will greet you, when
Yeah.
you're coming in, and the cats are like, "I'm ready to leave."
Exactly. I need to get that cat at Dodge. As a teenager, what time of bed? What was your bedtime?
About 10:30, I think.
So would you say
10:30.
you were late? You stayed up late as a teenager?
I did. I would not too late, but I would say late. Yeah,
Okay.
I always woke up early though. No matter
Okay,
what.
Matt, how about you?
I was a late one, like 11:30 or 12.
Really?
I'd stay up till at least the Tonight Show monologue was over.
Is that so?
Mm-hmm.
So a new psychological study found that teenagers who stay up past their bedtime and do not get enough sleep are more likely to abuse or use alcohol and drugs.
Oh, wow.
And by a significant amount, we're talking like 40 to 50% of the teens that they studied who went to bed and didn't get enough sleep. That's the key here with
That's
this.
interesting.
That these teens who are not getting enough sleep, somehow in their body they're looking for other things, so they're not making the best judgment call because their brains are still forming, and so they decide to try different things, and they might misuse or overuse drugs.
That's
or alcohol.
interesting. It makes a lot of sense that way, and I think we don't put a lot on that, if a kid understands, listen, your brain's not fully formed,
Yes.
and don't you want the most awesome brain ever? Because after 25, you're going to really wish you wouldn't.
Yeah.
True.
I wish somebody that I would have listened to that.
Yeah.
Well, I was talking to some of the crew guys on our break here, and I go to bed at like 9:30 now. My wife's up till 11, 12 o'clock, but I'm like 9, 10 o'clock. I'm like, I just want to go to, if there's an event going on, I'm like, is it over by 9?
Yeah, I know, right? I know, I'm with you on that one. But I'm always surprised at the hours that these kids have to get up to go to school. In our neighborhood, we're talking 6 o'clock in the morning, and it's still pitch black
My bus as a
outside.
kid was 6:20, 6:30.
But doesn't it make sense for a high
Liked it.
schooler?
I had to walk to school, so
Did you?
shut up, both of you.
Wouldn't it make sense, though, to allow high schoolers to go to school a little bit later?
It would benefit them. Well, I would think so, because then they would get home from school a little bit
little
later,
later.
which would help, closer to that 5 o'clock, help their
Yes.
parents out.
What I always heard when I used to complain about that is the reason it's earlier is because kids have jobs, is so they can go to work after school. Because if you get out, I used to get out about 2:30, and my mall job at the Finish Line was started about 5.
Okay.
So I had 2-3 hours there to go home, get changed, and get to work.
Okay, all right.
So let's get them to work. Put
Yeah.
the kids to work. I love it.
So not only do you not have enough sleep, but you're getting up at 6 o'clock to
6
catch the
o'clock in the
bus,
morning.
and then you're working after.
Well, they're young. That's why
That's
they're
true.
young.
That's true.
They do that when they're young. Tokyo, they want its single residents to hurry up and just get married. So they've actually developed a dating app to get them straight to the altar with a baby on the way. The app will require a signed form that says, yeah, you're ready to get married. Japan says marriage is on the decline as more people choose to stay single and kid-free. Last year, there were 470,000 marriages. That's down from 500,000 in 2022. Birth rates were also down, about 40,000 for the entire year. City Hall in Tokyo has agreed to sponsor the app as a way to get people engaged. They're even offering to turn some of the couple's stories into anime or even into songs. So imagine, I got you for the honeymoon, I got you an anime cartoon.
Incentive. I don't know about this. Like, you're forcing someone's hand to get married?
More likely it is. It's pushing. I think there is a big push. If you're not ready to be married, then why push somebody into it and that sort of thing? And I know a lot of times in religious organizations, they really push you to get married, because overall it does kind of lead you into your adulthood. But sometimes there's some people just not ready for it at all.
But there's also been a lot of talk about this population decline, especially here in America. Families are either waiting to have children later or not having children at all. And they're saying, well, so who ends up bringing up the next generation? Who's the backup?
Yeah, there's not the AI.
Who's the C team? We don't really have a strong C team coming up.
The robots.
Yeah.
Elon Musk has like 30 kids, so I think he's trying.
He's trying. He's
doing
trying to do his best.
You got to be a billionaire to have them.
Exactly, especially in this day and age. Ozempic, the weight loss drug that's helping people shed pounds, might soon have a version for pets who are busting at the waistline. A recent study found that an appetite regulator similar to Ozempic helped cats shed 5% of their body weight in less than 4 months. A group involved in preventing pet obesity found that 61% of cats and 59% of dogs were overweight in 2022. Experts suggest that a pet's obesity is likely the reflection of its owner's overall health. Weight loss medications for pets, really nothing new here. A few were released as far back as 2007, and there have been a number of products marketed to help your overweight pet return to its optimal size. Here's a simple solution. Don't feed it people food and maybe take it for a walk every now and again.
And people think that they forget. If you have a dog, dogs, they want to walk. If you keep them in the house all the time, there's obviously going to be depression, and the dog's just not going to be as healthy as the ones that get to go walk around.
And some of you cat owners are just letting them get fat. My wife has one friend, this cat is Garfield times 2.
Really?
And there's a lady that lives in our apartment building, and I kid ye nay, I was coming downstairs once, and the cat, I guess, got out in the building area. I came around the corner. I thought it was a raccoon. I thought a raccoon got in our building.
Big.
I was like, babe, there's a raccoon. No, it's just a fat cat.
Very interesting. Well, rumor has it the Wheel of Fortune is spinning, and it's not looking good for Vanna White. Inside sources say there's really not a whole lot of chemistry between Vanna and the show's new host, Ryan Seacrest. Ryan, of course, stepping in for Pat Sajak to announce his retirement earlier this year. Word has it that the show's producers are considering Kim Kardashian, believe it or not, as Vanna's replacement if White and Seacrest failed to find a groove on air. Vanna has been turning letters for the show since 1982. She asked for a pay raise following Sajak's exit. People close to Kardashian says they would she would actually consider that offer, but keep in mind, should keep blocking the A on the letters if you have her up there. I think, listen, you talk about a job that takes no. And Vanna was the first one to say it.
Yes.
It takes no skill.
She doesn't even spin them anymore.
Then she just touches them.
Taps them.
And does she even really tap?
No.
I don't
so
think she taps.
that position there is, she's ingrained into Wheel of Fortune. If they want to do a whole overhaul, I'm surprised that they didn't just get her. Maybe they were thinking if they keep Vanna, keep some of the older viewers to help usher in.
Yeah. Couple thoughts. I think
Ryan.
if you get rid of Vanna White, the show's done.
Because it's part of what it is.
You got to think about your audience. Who is committed to watching Wheel of Fortune, right? Now, the argument could be that they're trying to attract a new generation of viewers. There we go. We bring in Kim Kardashian. But wasn't Ryan Seacrest the producer of the Kardashians?
Yes, he was.
So he's got, an invested interest in all of this, too.
It makes complete sense. If you want to have some fun, Google Pat Sajak and Vanna White make out on camera because they did this bit one time. And then, Merv Griffin's the one that started that
Yes.
shit. And so I guess they had some extra time on the show and they were trying to fill it and they just start making out and then Merv Griffin come up. It's so awkward to see them.
It's like brother and sister, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That.
I know.
That's exactly what I'm
That's
saying.
true.
Plus, he's way shorter.
Let's bring that back. I want to see him making out. I want to see Seacrest making out with Vanna. How about that? I bet you Seacrest
Maybe
wouldn't
that'll
do
change things around for
be.
them. The legacy of Superman lives on. Will Reeve, the son of the late Superman star Christopher Reeve, will make a cameo in James Gunn's Superman. 32-year-old Will was spotted filming a scene for the movie in Cleveland, Ohio. He's playing a news reporter.
Imagine that.
After wrapping his scene, Will reportedly received a round of applause from the cast and crew. Christopher, who died in 2004 at the age of 52, first played the role of Clark Kent Superman in Richard Donner's 1978 film. The actor was paralyzed from the neck down in 1995 after being thrown from a horse during an equestrian event. Spent the rest of his life in a wheelchair and used a ventilator to help him breathe.
Interesting, yeah, man. Yeah, legacy indeed. When you think Superman, it's that's the first person I think is Christopher Reeve playing it, and sad story about that. But neat to see that his son's kind of adding a little bit of nostalgia to this new Superman.
Continuing the legacy.
That. And playing a reporter too, which was what Clark Kent was, right? Think about that. More Flash coming up. Stay with us.
Summer can be stressful, often leading to what experts call parental summer guilt. Now, this can stem from working parents who have concerns about leaving their children home, costly summer camps, or disruptions to their kids' routine. Here with some simple suggestions is wellness expert Dr. Romy Mushtaq, Chief Wellness Officer at Great Wolf Resorts. Welcome, Doctor.
Hello, Matt. Thank you so much for having me today.
So what is the secret to improving family wellness?
You know, Matt, as a brain doctor and chief wellness officer of Great Wolf Resorts, I'm always thinking about our guests and family. And we know that summertime can raise stress levels. The key to healing this is to plan activities that are bringing us together, that can strengthen family bonds and improve parent-child relationships. But the research shows we have to put down the digital devices and actually do activities together that can promote family communication and a sense of belonging.
How important is it to get involved with the whole family?
You know, it is so key. Kids know exactly what they want to do. They're exposed to so much information online with friends and celebrities. So the two things to do is pick a destination and ask the children what they would like to do. We know that picking a destination, research shows that's within driving distance for families will actually not only be less expensive, but also help to reduce those stress levels. Here at Great Wolf Resorts, we have 20 locations coast to coast. That's in driving distance for most families, and it can help everyone have that bonding time and wolf out.
Well, we here really love working with Great Wolf Lodge also. And where can we get more info?
For more information on how to wolf out and reduce that summer stress, go to greatwolf.com.
Thanks, Doctor. And we'll make sure we have this on our website at dailyflashshow.com.
Time for some trending stories. Vera Wang appears to have tapped into the fountain of youth, and fans agree. The 74-year-old fashion designer shared some new photos on her Instagram page. She looks less than half her age. Yes, in the pictures as she captions them, welcoming the warmer weather. Followers could not believe their eyes. Wang turns 75 this month. She says she works out, recently mastered the 100-pound leg squat, but her diet is not strict. She counts McDonald's, donuts, and vodka as her go-tos when she feels like it. One thing she does admit to is dyeing her hair and keeping it a deep dark color. She says she is not a fan of the grays.
I love gray hair. Great. Well, she looks fantastic.
75.
I'm certain, though, along with that is doing something that you really love and following your passions, because how much, you're doing something that challenges you every day, but yet you love it so much.
That is true.
I think really does something for the brain and keeps you young as
Because
well.
if you're feeling that passion, you're feeling joy, right?
Yeah.
And that joy makes life just easier and more fun. And I bet you sleep better at night. You probably eat less. You're just, at a good pace.
And if you can have McDonald's, donuts, and vodka and be Vera
Hallelujah.
Wang,
Yeah,
look at her,
right?
All right, good for her. Summer's reading is almost in session, and I am so nostalgic about this because Pizza Hut is now rewarding young readers with free pizza during another year of Camp Book It. The summertime extension is going to run from June through August. The program celebrating its 40th anniversary this year. It's dedicated to encouraging reading nationwide. Basically what it does, it empowers teachers and parents to motivate their students to read your heart out. And in return, the kids will get a free Pizza Hut pizza. Parents set monthly reading goals and a digital dashboard. And then when kids reach them, they score rewards as well as gift certificates. Pizza Hut actually started that program way back in 1984. I remember this. They brought it back in 2021, and now it's digital, as we mentioned, but it used to be these little coupons. I could still look at it. I remember one year I got one, and they give you a personal pan pizza for it, and it said reading, and so it's neat to see this coming back and getting kids excited.
What is it about Pizza Hut pizza? It has a certain flavor to it, and the crust.
The crust, it's their pan pizza. It's the caramelization, and I'll be honest with you, if you get a pizza screen or a pan, do not ever wash it like in the dishwasher. Let it build up because you're seasoning it, and that's what helps it too. As a matter of fact, when they get brand new ones, they run them through the oven with powder and all kinds of stuff on before they actually use it. Yeah, and it's just like the cast iron griddle.
Well,
if you
that's
think
true.
about that too.
Yeah.
So think about
or
that.
a wok. I know I've heard that
And
about
a wok
like a wok.
too,
If
yeah.
you use the wok, you like it to
Absolutely.
be seasoned. Milan is proposing a new law to ban ice cream after midnight in an effort to maintain the peace and quiet for residents. For many, a late night gelato is part of Italian culture, but a new proposed law would ban all takeaway food, including pizza, drinks, and ice cream after midnight. The city is trying to crack down on noisy groups crowding the streets late at night. The new food curfew, if passed, would last until November. It would kick in at midnight on weekdays and 1:30 a.m. on weekends and public holidays. This is not the first time Milan has tried to ban ice cream after midnight.
I can understand it, but a country that is all about food and celebrations and even around, it's unfortunate, that sort of thing. But and then the Italian person yelling out the window is also part of it. Right? so where will that go if we get
The
rid of
Italian no-no.
Shut it up in your mouth. They have to do it, I guess. But I would say if I was a gelato, that's where most of your sales would go if it's that big of an issue. How they're going to lose money if you think about it.
Especially during the summertime, because that's a big summer tourist travel
Right.
season. And in Europe, everything seems to happen later at night. They
that's
eat
true,
later
yeah.
at night. Especially in Spain. I know we're talking about Italy, but in Spain, they've got the siesta in the middle of the afternoon, and then people sometimes don't eat dinner till 10 or 11 o'clock at night in Spain. And I know that's similar in other European countries, including parts of Italy. So
I can understand it wholeheartedly. I just don't know. I'm trying to relate it here in the United States. How it would
Yeah.
be different. It's just maybe I'm not going to buy oranges at a stoplight. I'm never going to do it. I'm sorry. I want to know where my oranges came from, and I'm never going to do it. Maybe flowers for the wife, but
yes.
no.
What
Not
about getting your windshield cleaned?
I think spit is something that should stay in one's body
Yeah.
and not on somebody's windshield.
It's true.
Hey, we all got to make a buck, right? We're going to do just that. Hey, we're going to talk about actually changing your life with an expert. We're talking more about how these small little things you can do can actually break you free. Coming up next. Hey, welcome back to The Big Show. Mitch English along with Andrea Jackson. This is Daily Flash. Our next guest, Bob Gardner. He's a freedom and transformation specialist who actually helps people overcome anxiety and addiction by actually uncovering the root cause. He also says that going off the grid can actually help this process. Bob, welcome back to Daily Flash. Going off the grid, I think of like camping. I think of maybe like RVing when we dry dock and everything, but I need to find out exactly what off the grid means in life. Is that a literal thing, or maybe explain it for us?
Oh, sure. No, not a problem. Look, going off grid basically means taking yourself in short bursts outside of the natural flow of life so that you can do a little bit of maintenance. If you think about it like your car, going off grid on the car is maybe your car has some anxiety. So you take it into the shop. It is no longer on the grid. And in a short amount of time, you can start to rectify things and get it running well. Most people are trying to fix their car in this metaphor while still driving it. And that's where a lot of problems run in, and it takes a long time to heal.
I like that analogy. I think it's, goes along with, think about yourself. Obviously, you're not going to be able to be effective if you're, going through all this turmoil and such. But how can we actually start training off the grid, and how can it actually transform basically how I spend my day, my time when I'm actually on the grid?
Yeah, so what I do, obviously, I run these really intensive in-person retreats. So it's like 5 days, we take their phones away, and we're focused in such a way that there's no distractions. Nothing from the normal area of life is pulling them away from the process that they're doing in that moment, and so that we can really get to the bottom of things and work it out of the body and work it out of the mind.
Well,
in your daily life, if you set some time to put the phone away, or if you have, for instance, some way of eliminating distractions in a small amount of time, and usually that means going away from home or going to a safe place or a spot that isn't your natural place of doing things, and then you're not going to be interrupted by all the stuff that gets like a mom brain to go thinking about the kids, or a dad to go thinking about what's the next thing at work.
So you feel like having the whole body approach is actually speeds up the process of healing?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you've only got about 86 billion neurons in your head,
That's it.
cells in your head. You got like 70 trillion in your whole body, and all of them have memory. All of them learn. All of them adapt to their environment. So they've memorized a way of handling your life. And you might get your brain on board. Everybody listening to this has moments where they realize, hey, I know that what I'm doing is not the right way to react to this, but I can't stop. That's because the rest of the body, all these mini little brains in the body, still haven't gotten the message. So what I do is try to isolate that and get the whole body all in one place all together. And then it's amazing how quickly the body can learn, because you're not trying to pull it in different areas all at once while you're trying to do work and while you're trying to handle the kids and stuff. You get it all together, and then we can move.
You know, as you were talking, I was thinking, you know, as we go throughout the day and we have issues pop up, we always like to say, you know, kind of give them a label, like, oh, that's my ADHD, or oh, it's because of this or that. And we put those labels on our struggles, but you say that's not good at all to do that. It seems like identifying would help, but why isn't it good? Explain.
Sometimes identifying can help, but most of the time it ends up creating a place where a person gets to park and stay put. If you say it's my ADHD, you know, it's like talking about it like you have a pet, and now you have to take care of it. You got to take it on walks. You got to do all these other things. You got to set boundaries around it. And the reality is ADHD is a label. Think about it like a pickle jar. When you got a label on a jar, it's hard to see what's really going on inside. And the word pickle does not describe the experience of eating the thing. And so getting the label off and really diving into what's going on in the body changes so much. People realize, oh, maybe my version of ADHD or my version of anxiety doesn't actually match everyone's. And my version actually feels like this. Oh, well, I can change that. The label often makes people too vague with what they're really dealing with, and leaves them helpless to be able to shift things.
The irony is, I have ADHD, and the whole time you're talking about pickles, if you look at a pickle jar, this has nothing to do with anything. It doesn't say the word. It does not say the word pickles on it. We had this discussion on our show. Bob, next time you go to the grocery store, look at a bunch of pickles. It doesn't say. It'll say kosher, Spears, but it doesn't say the
kosher
word
dill.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, but sorry, I went off on that. I do
labels
appreciate
are not helpful.
No,
this
see,
is why
right?
labels aren't
Yes,
helpful.
exactly. I labeled it as this, and now we're talking about pickles when we were talking about getting off the grid, man. And I would love to take my ADHD and off the grid and just leave it somewhere, by all means. But no, I appreciate what you're saying here. I mean, is it that difficult? What do people say at the end of when they spend time with you that they didn't have their cell phones for X amount of days or whatever, or time? What is something in common that they always say at the end of going through this experience?
That they don't want their phones back. That they realize that life is so much more beautiful without it. They get the phone, and that's when they realize, oh my gosh, my reaction to my phone, my reaction to this stream of information in this bit of metal and glass in my hand has been the way that I have been producing all this stuff. But now they have a different set of skills. And so we have them get their phones, and then we have them practice what we just taught them with their phone.
I deeply appreciate that as well. I got to have my phone so I can take a picture of the pickle and send it to you, the pickle jars. I'm telling you, dude, look, you're not going to find them. This is very interesting stuff. Going off the grid. You want more information, this is where you need to go. You need to go right now during the commercial break, thefreedomspecialist.com. You can check out his book, Built for Freedom. And again, the website waiting for you, freedomspecialist.com. We'll have that link on our website at dailyflashshow.com.
This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. Trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash.
Hi, everyone. I'm Andrea Jackson.
Mitch English hanging out here with you. We welcome you to Daily Flash. Matt Doolittle will be joining us just a little bit later on. All over the country, we're seeing more and more reports of these black rings showing up. One showed up in Virginia a couple weeks ago, where it's just this huge black ring. And nobody knows what it is. Caught on camera. If you Google a mysterious black ring, you'll see what I'm talking about. And so everybody thinking, well, here we go. It's the end of the world. Something's happening, yada, yada. So they were getting all these calls in. Basically, they're saying, at least for this last one that happened in Virginia, that it's if a power transformer explodes, somehow the way it explodes, it kind of makes a ring that goes up in the sky.
Like an optical illusion almost.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
Like a smoke ring, you know, because I guess the way it explodes, it kind of goes out and makes this ring.
I can see that.
Some are saying it's that. Some are saying that it's diesel engines as well. And some people are saying, oh, somebody's sending SOS
Nope, it's end of the world. It's Judgment Day. It is the end. I will dive into all those conspiracies and push them as far as I can.
Well, didn't they have this too? Like, two national monuments collapse. There was one in Utah. They called it the toilet bowl or something, and it fell apart. And then there was something else in Mexico that crumbled.
I know what you're talking
about. And then
about.
a baby white buffalo has gone missing in.
Telling you, man.
Yeah.
It's too weird, all kinds of weird stuff. We're just not paying attention to it. But they're saying it's fine.
Was tinfoil hats ready?
I'm getting a tinfoil hat ready.
It's already warmed up. Tokyo wants its singles residents to hurry up and get married.
Come on.
So they've developed a dating app to get them straight to the altar with the baby on the way. The app will require a signed form that says you are ready to get married. Japan says marriage is on the decline as more people choose to stay single and child-free. Last year, there were 470,000 marriages, down from 500,000 in 2022. Birth rates were also down to about 40,000 for the entire year. City Hall in Tokyo has agreed to sponsor the app as a way to get people engaged. They're even offering to turn some of the couple's stories into anime or songs.
It's interesting.
I always find if you push something like this, the results are never good. And I feel like it comes in waves, right?
Why are you getting married? So we can have an anime cartoon? I don't see any issues in this whatsoever.
Like, that's going to last.
It's interesting, they were, I know back in the 80s and stuff, they were like, in China at least, they were like, you can't have kids.
Yes.
You're only allowed to have one child. And now that's kind of changing somewhat as well. I'm surprised, though, that Japan hasn't come out with a marriage vending machine, because they're like the king country of vending machine, right?
Find your wife or your husband in the vending machine.
No, I ordered A1. Or this stupid thing won't come out.
And he's stuck on the thing, and you can't get him out of the box. That'd be my luck. Wow. Yeah, I just don't know. I think you just sort of have to let nature take its cycle. I feel like things change over time. It's trendy to be married, then it's not trendy to be married.
I've just heard the dating pool is a mess, because I've been out of it for about 3 years now, and all of us we've got our significant others, and from all my single friends or anybody I hear on radio or whatever, it's a mess out there to try and date anybody anywhere.
But do you think it's because of social media, dating apps? Do you think it's the way people are meeting one another?
I think it's a lot of that, and it's a lot of people perceiving themselves as who they aren't when they show up from the app, like pictures from 10 years ago and 40 pounds ago.
I think, underlying, that's what you're saying, is that, you're really selling yourself. You have to sell yourself on these dating apps, and you're just showing the best that you have. Right. And so you go and you expect somebody. Whereas if you met somebody in a supermarket, you're like, all right, you're starting at the bottom, and you can learn to go up from that point. So
you think Tom Brady's showing up and it's Louis Anderson. You
think you're dating Matt, but Mitch shows up. Yeah. Is really what he's saying. All righty, you got one of them fat cats? Well, guess what? There's a drug, Ozempic, the weight loss drug. It's actually helping people shed pounds, but may soon actually might have a version from pets, or a virgin, who are busting out their waist. If I was a cat, this is me right now. Look at the screen. That's what I would be like all day. A recent study found that an appetite regulator that's kind of like Ozempic has actually helped cats shed 5% of their body weight in just less than 4 months. A group involved preventing pet obesity found that 61% of cats, 59% of dogs overweight in 2022. They're saying it's a reflection of the owner's overall health and lifestyle as well. I can tell you this, my cat, Jake, who is an outside cat, we wouldn't let him go outside until we started letting him go outside. He was getting really fat, and he just wanted to go outside. I think they have the nature; they know what they want to do. And he goes out and catches lizards and everything, and he has something to do all day.
I don't know if I want to clean up after my pet if he's taking Ozempic.
That's a good point.
Just go throw that out there. I'll leave it at that.
Hey, community pharmacies remain a convenient, trusted, and easy place for people to receive vaccinations and other preventative services. Anita Patel, pharmacy, medical doctor, and vice president of pharmacy services development at Walgreens, joins us with the latest information about this year's respiratory illness season.
Thanks so much for having me. Every year, flu, COVID, and RSV cause hundreds of thousands of hospitalizations and thousands of deaths during the fall-winter sick season. This is why CDC recommends getting vaccinated to help keep you protected against these viruses. With back to school in full swing and fall holiday season just around the corner, it's a great time for your family to get their recommended vaccine. As a mom of 3, I'm making sure that my family gets the vaccines they need before these viruses begin to circulate. It's also safe to get multiple vaccines at the same time and in the same visit. This makes it super easy and convenient to stay up to date on all the recommended vaccines, including flu and RSV, which are available at Walgreens nationwide now. There's also going to be an updated COVID vaccine soon, and we'll be offering that as well. Once available, this updated vaccine will better protect against newer coronavirus variants that are causing illness. Now, whether you're booking an appointment for yourself, a family member, or someone close to you, your trusted pharmacist is ready to help you navigate towards the appropriate vaccines. Now, in many states across the U.S., we're actually experiencing a COVID summer surge right now. If you have respiratory symptoms such as a runny nose or a cough, consider visiting your Walgreens pharmacist and getting tested. Walgreens offers an easy 2-in-1 rapid test that tests for both COVID as well as flu with reliable results from your pharmacist in less than 30 minutes. And if you do test positive, in many states, our pharmacists can determine if an antiviral prescription medication is right for you. They can also give you options to treat your symptoms with over-the-counter products. We know immunizations can fall off the to-do list. I'd recommend going to Walgreens.com and scheduling your vaccine appointment now, getting it on your calendar, or if you're in the neighborhood, you can simply go to your local Walgreens and ask your pharmacist to help get you vaccinated. Get vaccinated, get ready for the fall. It's the #1 way to protect against respiratory illnesses.
And now a great travel destination if you're looking for a change of scenery.
Visit North Carolina.
Fall reawakens the wonder at North Carolina's unspoiled island beaches. As summer ends, cooler weather, smaller crowds, and appealing events cast new light on beach destinations. Join the fun at Cape Fear Kite Festival, the Beaufort Pirate Invasion, and October's Oyster Month celebration. Or go for fall fishing and the glories of fall bird migration.
Plan your trip and register to win an Outer Banks getaway plus Eno gear at don'tsweatitnc.com.
And now, what to keep in mind for back-to-school shopping.
Back-to-school shoppers are ready for a new wardrobe, and a recent survey finds kids are looking first to comfort. Melissa Bastos, Director of Corporate Strategy and Insights at Cotton Incorporated, shares more.
We conducted a survey to find out what kids are looking for this new school year with some interesting results. This is the first year teenage students ranked quality and comfort over style, with 1/3 of girls and over 1/4 of boys choosing athleisure bottoms like leggings and joggers. And t-shirts are the favorite top, with nearly half of parents reporting it's their child's choice.
Back-to-school shoppers are planning to spend nearly $100 more this year, and parents are looking to a variety of options to find budget-friendly, comfortable, sustainable clothes.
94% of back-to-school shoppers plan to buy new clothing in physical stores, and 69% plan to shop online, while over 1/3 plan to actually shop secondhand. No matter how or where you plan to shop, you can always trust in Cotton.
For more information, visit lifestylemonitor.cottoninc.com.
Thanks for all that information. We'll make sure we have it on our website at dailyshow.com.
The start of a new season is the best time for a beauty refresh, and this fall we've got the inside scoop on where to shop and discover epic beauty finds. Here's beauty expert Millie Almodovar with more.
Thanks for having me. CVS Pharmacy, one of the largest and most trusted beauty retailers in the country, is here to help you refresh your fall beauty routine and save big on head-to-toe beauty buys during its semi-annual Epic Beauty Sale. Now through August 31st, you can earn $10 off when you spend $25 on beauty and personal care, both in-store and on CVS.com. And from September 1st through September 14th, you'll get 20% off when you buy online and pick up in store with promo code PICKUP20. Now, don't forget to use your extra care card at checkout too, so you can save and unlock even more rewards. CVS is a go-to beauty destination for tried and true brand favorites, along with the trending brands that are making a splash on social media. There's something for absolutely everyone. In skincare, Curology and Verse recently launched at CVS, and let me tell you, they've been going viral on TikTok for a good reason. Curology's Cream Face Moisturizer offers a rich boost of hydration, helping restore your skin's moisture barrier. And the Verse Press Restart Gentle Retinol Serum contains natural botanical retinol ingredients specially formulated for sensitive skin. Now, when it comes to hair, Mael's Rosemary Mint Light Scalp and Hair Strengthening Oil is one of my absolute favorites. It leaves my hair feeling so soft and luxurious. I also love the Heritage Played Cool Heat Protectant Spray, which hydrates while maintaining the strength of my hair and helping to shield against heat. For makeup, I've been reaching for the L'Oreal Paris Lumi Glotion Natural Glow Enhancer, which is an amazing deal compared to some of the pricier options out there. It gives me a radiant finish, and it's formulated with glycerin and shea butter for instant hydration. Also for makeup, I love the Maybelline Sun Kisser Blush because it looks like I just stepped outside and got a natural sun kiss. Now, you can visit cvs.com/Epic Beauty or your local CVS to explore these amazing offers for yourself before September 14th. But go fast, because there's no better time to restock and refresh your beauty routine than during an epic CVS sale.
Well, Drew Scott, star of HGTV's Property Brothers, is taking us inside his LA home, and he's showing off what he calls the ultimate upgrade. Here's Drew along with Mary Powell from Sunrun, the nation's leading home solar and battery provider, with more.
Out of all the improvements we've done to the home, decarbonizing the home is very important. There's no gas in our house here. We want to make it a cleaner home. But at the end of the day, how you power your home is the most important thing. And switching to clean energy with solar panels is great. But solar panels alone, that's not the end of the story. You need battery backup because there are many times when you need that extra storage. For example, at nighttime when you don't have the sun, or during peak periods, if you don't have enough generated from solar, it's nice to have the battery backup.
What we're really providing customers the opportunity to do is tap into innovative technology, to tap into our energy future, to a future that is much more affordable and accessible to all, and a way to power your home and your life that is very, very resilient and provides you with peace of mind. If you sign up before the end of this month, you'll also get the first 6 months of your clean energy subscription for free. Go to www.sunrun.com or to call us at 888-GO-SOLAR.
Up next, one mobile carrier has a solution for phone issues you might be experiencing.
1 in 6 customers will lose, damage, or have their phone stolen this year. But never fear, Verizon Mobile Protect has your phone's back. Get unlimited repairs of your cracked screen and back glass for select smartphones at no extra cost. Never pay more than a $99 damage deductible, 24/7 access to tech support, and more. And from now till October 13th, eligible Verizon customers with working non-damaged devices have a second chance to enroll in Verizon Mobile Protect or any other protection option. Enroll by October 13th at verizon.com/mobileprotection.
Well, the first time in decades, American consumers face new changes when it comes to buying and selling real estate. Here's Kevin Sears. He's with the National Association of Realtors with what you need to know.
The message that I have for our realtor members, whether it's at the local level or across the country, it's that as much as change can be difficult, change is a good thing. And right now, I think that with these practice changes, it's empowering both the real estate professionals, our realtor members, and the consumers to have these valuable conversations about the service, the expertise that the real estate professional brings to the transaction. And so, this change, while it's going to be something different, ultimately, I think those that can clearly articulate their value proposition will be very successful and will thrive. If you're looking to get more information about these practice changes, you can go to facts.realtor, and that's where selling consumers, buying consumers, or even real estate professionals can see all the latest information about these practice changes as a result of the settlement.
Well, Fragile X syndrome, or FXS, is a rare genetic condition and is the most inherited form of developmental and intellectual disabilities out there. FXS may often be misdiagnosed as autism or ADHD. Well, we're joined by developmental behavioral specialist and pediatrician Dr. Carrie Buchanan, and patient advocate and parent of a child living with Fragile X syndrome, Robin Blackwood. Welcome to the show.
Fragile X syndrome is a genetic condition, so it's caused by a change in a gene on the X chromosome. Changes in this gene can cause intellectual disability, language difficulties, learning difficulties, and behavioral challenges. The most commonly being anxiety, specifically social anxiety, social avoidance, irritability, ADHD, and autism. The diagnosis is made through a blood or saliva test that can be ordered by your doctor or genetic counselor. Fragile X syndrome is a common cause of ADHD and autism, though they are not the same thing. So many individuals with Fragile X syndrome do have ADHD and autism.
It's a pretty big impact. One, because it's hereditary. And so when you get a diagnosis of Fragile X syndrome, you have to determine kind of which line of the family it's traveling through as a carrier status. Which is, I am a carrier of it. And so that's why my son has the full mutation of Fragile X syndrome. Secondly, supporting a child with Fragile X syndrome is pretty intensive. There's lots of OT, PT, and speech therapy when they're young, particularly to just kind of help them gain skills to learn sometimes to walk, talk. Toilet training can be extremely challenging with a child who has Fragile X syndrome because they have an intellectual disability. It's often really hard to, teach them things that a typical child would learn quite easily.
Reconnect is a clinical trial that is currently enrolling individuals with Fragile X between the ages of 3 and 29 years old. There are 2 options to participate in this trial. There are multiple centers across the United States who are offering it, but there's also a completely in-home option. If you want to learn more, go to Fragile X Help, H-E-L-P, fragilexhelp.com, and there's a lot of information there about the trial.
Hey, if you're thinking about a family vacation destination, there's an exciting new option to add to your list. Located just a short boat ride away from the Magic Kingdom Park, the cabins at Disney's Fort Wilderness Resort and Campground offer families a relaxing retreat in the great outdoors. Travel mom Emily Kaufman joins us live from the cabins at Disney's Fort Wilderness Resort and Campground with more information. Emily, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. It's good to be back with you. And as you said, I am right here at the cabins at Disney's Fort Wilderness Resort, and they are brand new. We're even giving you a sneak peek at them because they don't officially open until July 1st. And these cabins are nothing short of magical. They're an ideal way for a family to spread out, to enjoy a camping experience while being at the Walt Disney World Resort. You can get up at your own pace, have breakfast at your leisure, come back midday, take a little rest before returning into the parks to see the fireworks. I love everything about this. I would even call it glamping.
It is for sure. I've been out there myself a few times. So what activities and features can families expect to find out there?
What I love about Disney's Fort Wilderness Resort is you can actually feel like you're having a camping adventure. They've got fishing and kayaking. If you want to get out and go horseback riding, you can do that too. And I'm sure you're familiar with this. It's home to the Hoop-Dee-Doo Review, which is celebrating its 50th anniversary and is the longest running dinner show at Walt Disney World. And since you're right here on property at Walt Disney World, you can easily pop over and enjoy the theme parks. You get all those perks and benefits of staying on property, things like the extra magic hours and the free transportation. It really is a big win in 2 very different vacation experiences.
Emily, I've for sure been to the Hoop-Dee-Doo Review quite a few times. Where can we go for more info?
To learn more, you can visit DisneyVacationClub.com.
Awesome. Thanks, Emily. And we'll be sure to have this on our website at dailyflashshow.com. Guys?
Oh, thank you there, Matt. Yeah, I got to tell you, great way to have a great summer. Doing something like that would be really,
Those
really
new
awesome.
cabins look
Isn't that crazy?
amazing.
That is glamping.
Have you ever been to that Fort Wilderness for the holidays?
Yes, it's amazing, isn't it?
I am telling you, that is phenomenal.
They go. It's like it's a family thing that you're going to remember, and Disney just goes above and beyond all the time. So we always appreciate what they do there. Hey, we appreciate you as well. We thank you for joining us on this Daily Flash show. By the way, our website always open.
DailyFlashShow.com.
Bye bye, y'all.